Hi everyone, I Tanveer Kaur and Harshpreet Kaur going to give presentation on Tata Press Limited versus Mahanagar Telephone Nigam Limited and organization. This presentation is based on landmark case of Tata Press Limited versus Mahanagar Telephone Nigam Limited in India. The significance of freedom of speech and expression is extensively taken into consideration in the case. This case signified that advertisements which have power to disseminate information and raise awareness do not disrupt public order and peace. MTNL utilized to be in charge of publication and distribution of the telephone directory comprised of white pages. Beginning in 1987, it started publishing the directory with the help of independent contractors. It made it possible for contractors to generate economic for themselves in the form of advertisement to be published in yellow pages. The letter contained advertisements obtained by contractors to cover the cost and generate revenue. Tata Press Limited published and distributed the Tata Press Yellow Pages, which featured paid to advertise obtained from professionals, business people, and traders. As a result, Mahanagar Telephone Nigam Limited and the Union of India filed a civil suit against Tata Press Limited. They argued that under the Indian Telegraph Act, they are the only one with the right to print and publish the list of telephone subscribers. The telephone directory published by MTNL included both white pages and yellow pages, with the former containing a list of telephone subscribers. Then it demonstrates that Article 19 of the Constitution of India has considered one of the most fundamental rights it guarantees its inhabitants. It addresses the idea of personal liberty, which can be understood as a fundamental right in one form or another. The constitutionally protected right to freedom of speech and expression found in Article 19 of the Constitution can only be limited by Article 19. The case was filed to restrict the Tata Press Limited. In our Indian history, advertisements were seen as merely a means of attracting customers' attention to convince them to make a purchase. This is done to ensure that individuals in our nation can make educated and reasonable purchasing decisions. In the modern times, its function has shifted substantially. It's now used as a medium. The public is enlightened and aided by the data that advertising conveys. Commercials educate the public on issues of social and economic importance. The court ruled that commercial advertising falls under the protection of Article 19 of the Constitution, which can be limited by Article 19. The Supreme Court ruled that because our nation operates under the democratic economic system, there must be an obligatory free flow of commercial information. The judges then concluded that the Tata Pages was a publication of advertisements from businessmen, traders, and professionals. They did not constitute a list of telephone subscribers and contemplated in Rule 458 of the rules. This conclusion was reached after the judge looked at the advertisements. The highest court in India ruled that the Indian government and Mahanagar Telephone Nigam Limited do not have the authority to prevent Tata Press Limited from producing a and distributing yellow pages. It argued that general public is better off as a result of advertisement and by extension the information provided in such commercials. The criteria for listing in telephone directory and publication in the Tata pages were different. For the telephone directory, the person or party must be telephone subscriber, whereas for the Tata pages, the advertiser must be a trader. There is no way, not even by extreme strength of the imagination.
Now I will discuss about what happened after the decision. Tata Press Yellow Pages, an annual buyer's guide for Bombay, has been protected by the Supreme Court, ensuring the company continues to produce the directory. In the same ruling from 2 weeks ago, the most helpful feature of the Yellow Pages was outlay. Government run telephone authorities will continue to publish directories limited to single line entries with only the subscriber's name, address, and phone number. Being the case, private agencies like Tata Press Limited has the right to publish ad-filled yellow pages. On the basis of the appellant's interpretation of Rule 458 and Rule 459 of the rules, publication of ads, which is considered commercial expression and is protected under Article 19 of the Constitution, cannot be denied to The court decided that under Article 19 of the Indian Constitution, citizens not only have the right to speak their minds and express themselves freely, but they also have the right to listen, to read, and receive the speech. In India, the judicial system has become significantly more powerful, demonstrating that it is the highest authority in the country and possesses all of the necessary powers. The reason behind the popularity of this case is the freedom of speech that created a conflict between two re-owned companies. Another reason is Rule 458 to safeguard the exclusive property rights of Nigam and the Union of India, which were established by Rule 457. It also triggered the violation of freedom of charter and rights. Tata Press Limited was the target of the civil suit that made people more interested in the case to know the real truth behind the case. It was based on the rule that the publication of advertisements is not a utility service. It cannot be prohibited under Rule 458 of the rules because it is a non utility service. Similar case laws with the same objective. The right protected in Article 19 cannot be declared illegal for anyone just because doing so would result in creating a monopoly in favor of the government, like Hamdard Davakhana Union of India. It is not permissible to deny the protection afforded by paragraph of subparagraph Article 19 to any commercial advertisement on the sole ground that business published them. Article 19 ensures that all citizens have access to six fundamental rights, including freedom of speech, expression, assembly, freedom of movement, freedom to reside and settle, freedom of profession, occupation, trade, or business. These rights are made to safeguard all citizens. Tata Press Limited won the case. The general public today possess the legal entitlement to hear commercial speech. So, Supreme Court made the judgment after considering similar case laws and in-depth analysis of insights for both the parties. Thank you.